What's good with y'all boys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we're gonna be reacting to Uzi's lost albums. Now, it's not a normal thing that I react to. Um, I don't usually like talk about the music industry and stuff like that. But today we is. Today we is. Uzi's one of the best rappers to me, bro. Like he's one of my favorite rappers, to be honest with you. Uh, he kind of inspired me to make music too, alone. And bro, this man has so much like lost albums that he was just gonna release, bro, and it was just gonna be super good, man. It was just gonna be super good. That's why we just need to talk about it, bro. Like I just experienced so much lost albums that were gonna hit the charts, bro. Like they were gonna go diamond for real. And that would have been, the least of his like worries about dropping, cause he usually doesn't drop for real. So, um, yeah, I kind of wish like Eternal Take 2 was just a lost album, because how are you gonna make Barter 16 a lost album, but not Eternal Take 2? Now, I mean, it's cool. The album's cool, but it's not as. I made a video a long time ago talking about it. It wasn't as pleasant as we thought. So, but it was high quality, bro. It was high quality. I'm not gonna lie. The shit was good, kind of. But I hope y'all enjoy this video. Leave a like, comment on what you think. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram. Go tap into that Instagram for more updates, and pull up to that Discord for more future videos like this. Let's get to this video, man. Let's check it out.
Around mid to late 2010s, a wave of new rappers would make an impact in music and be responsible for creating a subgenre called SoundCloud rap. While a few of these rappers would later fall into obscurity like Lil Xan, 6ix9ine, Famous Dex, and more, a lot of these rappers from this era would later go on to become mainstream like Juice WRLD, XXXTentacion, Lil Yachty, Ski Mask the Slump God, Playboi Carti, and Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert would get his first breakthrough with the release Money Longer in February 2016. The lead single first mixtape Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World, which would debut at number 37 on the Billboard 200 chart. From that point on, Uzi's career would skyrocket, with his biggest boost being EXO Tour Life in early 2017, reaching number 7 on Billboard Top 100 charts and becoming one of the best-selling emo rap songs ever. Throughout this journey, Uzi would release many albums with different styles and such, but would also have many scrapped albums, possibly more scrapped albums than released albums. Strap in as we'll take a look at Uzi and nearly all of his scrapped albums since his start in making music. Home Economics was a
Bro,
collab.
the best thing about that era is like they literally started some of them started the TikTok rap, but I'll say, bro, like that era was so clean and good. That's why I made a video on that too. Um, bro, you can never get that era back, bro. So y'all lived it while you could, man, and like niggas don't even be like releasing on SoundCloud anymore for real. Just because like how dry it is now. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Mixtape with producer and rapper Ray Flair first worked on after Lil Uzi Vert dropped his debut EP called Purple Thoughts. A tracklist for the mixtape was released in 2014 at some point and was set to release on July 5th of that year, but this would never happen and the mixtape would eventually be scrapped for unknown reasons. While the project never dropped, a lot of the songs from the mixtape would be released, like 400 Degrees, Track 2, Whoa, Track 3, Faded, Track 5, and Pretty Boy Anthem with Lil B at Track 6, and the first track would leak in late 2022 called Servant featuring Key. The only song unavailable from the project is track 4 called Uzi, but everything else has been archived successfully. Fast forwarding from 2014.
He didn't release Purple Dots at all? I thought he released Purple Dots like a long time ago, like at the start of his career. Must have been around.
To 2017, specifically on October 19th, when Lil Uzi Vert and NBA YoungBoy would collaborate and make an album together called Too Fast, recording all the songs from the album in just one day, and YoungBoy would share some snippets from the album on his Instagram. While some songs from this album would be released as singles for YoungBoy's album at the time, the collaboration album between the two would be scrapped at some point in 2018 for unknown reasons, and not much else is known about the album, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, there has been like a couple leaks about that album. I'm not gonna lie, and it's super fire. I recommend you like listening to some of it and stuff. They should make a collab album again.
It was a
I
collaboration.
think Uzi's just on a whole different wave that he's just not like featuring with any, hood rapper is, known.
Album between Lil Uzi Vert and Playboi Carti that was
Not doing any trap, so.
first announced through Snapchat and Twitter by Carti in September 2017. In the same month, the duo planned to go on tour together for the album, but unfortunately, it was canceled shortly after its announcement because Uzi wanted to, quote, focus. Major sessions between the two would occur in January 2018 for the album, and according to Carti in an interview from July, they recorded around 100 songs together. A single for the album would be released onto SoundCloud called Chinatown on September 25th, but would be taken down soon after for unknown reasons, and after this, the two would go quiet about any progress on the album. Despite all of this, throughout the years, the two would subtly hint at the project, and recently, the two started working together again on new music. On January
They were working on some of 1629 in 2022, I think. And in 2023, they probably got back locked in, but they were probably recording like some songs for iMusic, probably. I don't know. But it's like some of the leaks that got released, and that leaked fast too. It leaked in like 2023. Some of the leaks that I've been hearing about, like Uzi and Carti, they're kind of good. I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of good.
2nd, 2018.
They're kind of like high energy. You gotta do something while you're listening to them because they're like a whole lot of Red Style.
Or January 3rd, depending on some sources, Lil Uzi Vert and producer Wheezy would finish a collab tape together within 12 hours and record 9 songs for the project, and on January 4th, Uzi would announce the tape was 12 hours away from completion. After recording sessions finished for Tsunami Island, Uzi and Wheezy immediately started recording with Carti in the same studio for 1629 between January 3rd and 4th. On May 24th, Wheezy would announce on Instagram the collaboration tape would release on Christmas 2019, a whole year and 7 months ahead, possibly a typo. However, Wheezy would later tell fans to stop leaking the songs from the project, and after this, any updates would go quiet about the collaboration. It's unknown what the fate of this project was, but it's most likely because of the leaks like Wheezy mentioned, leading to the tape being scrapped. Before Eternal Atake was officially released on March 6, 2020, the album went through many different changes over the course of 2 years. The concept of Eternal Atake first occurred in January 2018, but it wouldn't take until July 16th for Uzi to officially tease the project for the first time. The theme of the album was meant to have a spacey vibe, but also catchy beats with help from producers like Harper, Oogie Mane, Forza, and more. On July 31st, 2018, Uzi would reveal the album cover for the project, which immediately became controversial due to its striking similarity to a logo by a cult called Heaven's Gate. The cult's most infamously known for the mass of 39 members in 1997 after believing they would be transported onto an alien spaceship for a better place. The controversy eventually...
That's interesting how that was going to be copyrighted. I still like wonder to this day, like what happens if he actually released that and then got a ton of copyright strikes by that by those like managers with like the with that like S Seidel thing in San Diego. Like I wonder like how much copyright strikes he would have gotten.
Led to former members of Heaven's Gate threatening Uzi with a lawsuit over the album cover. Despite this, Uzi continued to promote the album, releasing a lead single for the project called New Paddock on September 18th and performed new songs from the album at a concert on December 8th. The album was set to release on March 24th.
He was probably like, hell no, I'm not doing with that lawsuit. He's not. I'm not doing with them charges or lawsuit, bro. I'm good.
2019, but this would unfortunately
Got
never
another
happen
cover.
due to Lil Uzi Vert having major issues with his label, along with many other issues like leaks and such. After failing to release the album on March 24th, the next day, on March 25th, Uzi would sign a management deal with another label called Roc Nation, owned by Jay-Z, for more freedom on his Eternal take. On March 28th, Uzi would release a song in protest to his label Generation Now called Free Uzi, with high-pitched vocals to avoid copyright from Generation Now. Uzi would take a very different approach to the album, drawing inspiration from New York styles and having an East Coast flow, getting rid of that spacey feel the project originally had. Later
Didn't his old label delete Free Uzi?
that year, on December 12th, Uzi would release a single called Futsal Shuffle 2020, and after this, Uzi would return back to the spacey feel, but with a futuristic theme and a newer trap flow. Uzi would unexpectedly drop the album a week earlier than promised on March 6, 2020, and 7 days later would release a deluxe. On October 23rd, 2020, Uzi would reply to an Instagram comment asking him to go back to his 2016 to 2017 flow, to which he said, "Okay, gosh, I will start tonight." Nearly a month later, on November 17th, the same day the Pluto X Baby Pluto Deluxe released, Uzi would make many tweets talking about a new project he's working on called Forever Young. Between December 17th to 23rd, Uzi would do many Instagram live streams previewing new songs, and on the 20th would preview over 30 songs and announce 3 new projects in the works. A SoundCloud exclusive mixtape, Forever Young.
Now this was peak. This whole thing was peak, bro. Bro, I remember in 2020 just seeing on my algorithm Uzi snippets, and I listened to all of it. Bro, that shit was super peak, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This is where his flow was going from there, bro. Like, he wasn't lying about dropping these on SoundCloud, because this would have revived it, bro. This would have revived it. This would have been a great ending era for it.
And Love is Rage 3. On July 16th, 2021, Uzi would announce another project he's working on called Pink Tape.
I mean, we gotta always be grateful. We gotta always be grateful that he released some of the songs from, like, when he was like recording like some of the snippets, like Pluto to Mars, I Gotta, to Pink Tape. So,
but was still working on Forever Young. However, updates would slow down on Forever Young and would eventually be scrapped altogether around March 2022. The SoundCloud exclusive mixtape called Red and White would officially release in that same year, and the longly anticipated album Pink Tape would finally release in June 2023. After the release of Pink Tape, Uzi would announce Love is Rage 3 again, a new project called Barter 16, and re-announce Forever Young as his quote last album, which obviously wasn't true.
Bro was trying to distract us from Reggie White.
Like mentioned earlier, Pink Tape was first announced on July 16, 2021, along with many other projects that will never become a thing. Uzi wanted to explore a more experimental melodic sound, but with rage rap for the project. However, this wouldn't last long after reuniting with Playboi Carti and being inspired by his style. Uzi would change the name from Pink Tape to Delta Pink, would introduce a new persona called Astro Cat, release the lead single called Demon High on October 29, 2021, and make multiple appearances, including some Aiden Ross streams. However, during this era, Uzi would go through rehab for 7 months due to his Xanax addiction, which would impact Pink Tape heavily, scrapping the project entirely and going with a different approach. Uzi would reach the end of his rehab and return back to social media in April 2022, and in July would release his SoundCloud exclusive mixtape Red and White. The reception for this mixtape was mixed, leading to Uzi rethinking Pink Tape and playing with different aesthetics. After a little bit, the album was ready to be released in December 2022. However, because Uzi didn't put a song called Believe Me on Red and White, apparently his label put him in timeout, forcing the album to be delayed, and would end up having a shift in its creative direction with a more darker and experimental rock vibe in January 2023. After teasing the album would release in the end of June at a live performance, the project was finally released on June 30th, 2023 with an experimental rage rock feel. Super Geeky was a collaboration album between Uzi and Yeat that was first teased on December 12, 2019 when Yeat would tweet.
I didn't know that was an album. But then they already make... Oh no, that was only Yeat's album.
he and Uzi gonna have a collab tape, but this project wouldn't happen until early 2022 when the two would link up to work on the album. Between 2021 to 2022, the two apparently made nearly 200 songs together, and Yeat would start teasing the album again in his Yeat language. It's not confirmed what the name of the project is, but it's believed it's either Super Geeky or Pink Life, said both by Yeat while teasing the album. Despite this, no further updates came out about the collaboration project, and it's likely the album was scrapped in 2023 for both artists to focus on their solo albums. Metro Pink was a collaboration album between Uzi and popular producer Metro Boomin. The project first started in January 2023 when the two started working together after a while, and the existence of this project was first made aware when a DM between the two was shared, showing one of them saying, "Send the tape." According to an insider, the project was called Metro Pink and was meant to be released in early 2023 before Pink Tape would release. Unfortunately, the project never came together due to both artists being busy with other stuff, like Metro working on the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack and his collaboration album with Future, while Uzi still had Pink Tape to work on. After the release of Pink Tape, Uzi would first start teasing his upcoming album Barter 16 in July 2023, a project that paid homage to Young Thug and his mixtape Barter 6, released in 2015.
Why did they make their covers like? I mean, bro, Young Thug be like, he be doing everything sometimes, bro. He be doing the most sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, he be doing everything and the most. I'm not gonna hold you, man. First he said the harder, and secondly, bro, like he did this album. Actually, first he did this album, and second he said the harder. Like, it's like, Young Thug be doing too much sometimes, man.
And this would be made more obvious
You
when
gotta keep your eyes on him, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
the cover for the project was released on
You made my favorite artist look like this.
Young Thug's birthday on August 16th. Uzi made many fake promises on when the project would release, like when he said he would drop the album on Destroy Lonely's Life, or when Lil One DTE, an Atlanta rapper, reaches 100k followers on Instagram. In response to the many lies Uzi has made on release dates for the project, half of the album was leaked on August 19th by leaking group Monkey Mafia. The project was promised to be released on September.
That's why I put things on my door. I don't put anything on nothing unless I really mean it. But like, I just put shit on my door. I don't put it on I don't put it on God. I don't put it on everything. I don't put it on my mom. I put it on my door. Cause, you know, it's an item. So
September 17th, but obviously never
I'm
had
that type of dude that I won't say I'll put everyone on everything, you know what I mean? Or I put it on God, cause like I just don't want to. It seems super strong to say. That's why I was struggling. That's why I was just struggling saying it a couple seconds ago.
And the project is eventually scrapped altogether due to the leaks and fans' mixed response to the style Uzi was going with. Around late 2023, Uzi would announce he would be retiring soon and that his final album would be Love is Rage 3. According to Uzi, the album sound would be very similar to the first two albums, but nothing much else is known about the album. Uzi would release singles like NFL and Red Moon during this era, all while teasing Love is Rage 3.
Bro, he can really drop this in 2030. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'll wait longer, man. Cause this album seems superior, and it seems good, bro. It seems good. It seems like he's cooking, bro. Seems like he's cooking. You know, follow that Twitch if you want to see me react to the album. You know what I mean? But it seemed like he cooking, bro. For real. After like the four singles that he's been making and stuff, I see it actually good.
Apparently, the album was done and was in the process of being mixed in February 2024, but Uzi would later state he wasn't retiring anytime soon. And according to Uzi's ex-assistant's testimony and an unrelated lawsuit,
would have released it near my birthday. That would have been nice.
Uzi started working on a new project in that same month, most likely confirming that Uzi scrapped Love is Rage 3. On November 1st, 2024, Eternal Take Two would be released and would receive heavy backlash by fans. Uzi would attempt to try something new by wearing all white clothing and release 2 new songs exclusively on YouTube called Hellraiser and Double C. The new songs and Uzi wearing all white clothing would also receive backlash by fans, leading to both songs getting removed from YouTube. But Uzi would
I'm not gonna lie, I think the reason why it did is because something tells me like the label at like on purposely just released that just to like piss off Uzi. I don't know, something tells me that just because he like with all the shit that's going on with him and his label and stuff and with him quitting, like I feel like the label actually like released that intentionally. Something tells me that.
state he was
There's
just
no way it
testing the
was
waters
Uzi
and would go
personally.
silent on social media until May 5th, 2025, when he would return and tease a summer tape on the 25th. When he would return and tease a summer tape and on the 25th remove all white from his bio and stopped wearing all white clothing. After scrapping all white, Uzi began teasing a summer tape, first teasing the possible name for the album on July 12th called WH2U, standing for What Happened to Uzi. According to an insider of the music industry, the album was planned to drop in August, and in that same month, Uzi began sharing a lot of snippets for the upcoming album, showing the direction of the project. But unfortunately, because of this, he got in trouble with his label again, leading to the album being delayed or possibly scrapped. Because of this scandal with this label and his past issues with this label that we've talked about, Uzi began focusing on his own label called 16 Records.
W video, man. W video. I just want to make a video that seemed like a, a a video that you don't expect, but it's good to me, bro. It's good to me. You watch it, you watch it. That's all I need to know. If you fall with it, you fall with it, bro. If you do, make sure y'all leave a like and sub and comment on this video if you're new. Make sure y'all follow that Instagram. And make sure y'all tap into that Discord. It's finna be lit. Yeah, bro. I cannot wait for like Love Is Rage 3. I feel like that's gonna be a good album, bro. I'm an Uzi fan, bro. I'm an Uzi fan. And all this, man, I'm an Uzi fan. I even got Love Is Rage on here. If I would have had the Perfect Love tape, it would have been back and it would have been in the middle of these bitches, bro. It would have been in the middle. You know what I mean? That's the best album ever. The Perfect Love tape is the best album ever, bro. You gotta be able to listen to it in the summer to even get a feel of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video, man. And yeah, so then I'm out. I'm going. Peace.